Hello, my name's Jane Foggin and I'm a Senior Lecturer in Social Work at Sheffield Hallam University. I've prepared a few thoughts to give you some advice and guidance on how to apply for social work. Before you watch this, I'd strongly recommend that you watch my other screencast, which is about what is social work and what's it like to study social work here at Hallam. First of all, in terms of entry requirements, we require 120 UCAS points. Most of our candidates are people who are studying or who have gained A-levels or BTEC national qualifications. We don't accept AS levels, but we do accept A-level general studies. We take a fairly broad view about acceptable subjects. So for example, gaining 3 Bs at A-level or distinction merit in a BTEC extended diploma would meet our entry requirements. We also accept a range of access courses, and you can always make further inquiries both through our own online prospectus, which has more details, and the other useful place to go and look at is the UCAS website itself, which has a very helpful points calculator that can help you work out what points you might already have or what points you will gain in terms of the current qualifications you're working towards. Key to the application process is the writing of your personal statement, and I know you're likely to be getting quite a lot of helpful advice from your colleges and schools where you're currently studying. I want to tell you how to tailor that so that it really stands out as a social work application. And key to that is understanding this document, the Professional Capabilities Framework for Social Work, which is owned by the British Association for Social Work 2018. It's a career-long framework that has 9 different domains and lots of different levels. So the level you need to look at is what's called the entry level. So to just show you that, I'm going to switch screens for a moment. And I'm going to show you that actual document online. You can find it on the BASWA website, and this is what it looks like. And I'm showing you here the particular one you want. It's called the Point of Entry to Training. And what this document does is go through each of those domains. So domain 1, for example, is professionalism. It tells you what the definition is of the domain, and then the bullet points below tell you what us universities should be looking for in your application, and also at the later point if you get through the application process and you're shortlisted and you come for a selection event with us. So as you can see, we expect you to understand at an initial level something about the role of a social worker. You need to show us the motivation and commitment that it takes to become a social worker. And you also need to show some self-awareness about your own strengths and challenges that you might face in terms of training to be a social worker or being in the role. So this document goes through all of the domains: values and ethics, diversity and equality, rights, justice and economic well-being, knowledge, critical reflection and analysis, skills and interventions, context and organisations, professional leadership. If you use this document to prepare your thoughts about yourself as you prepare to write that personal statement, you'll go a long way to making an application that really stands out. So as you work through each of those domains, reflect about how you meet them, and you might want to draw on some examples to show us your evidence for that. So if you've got work experience, whether that's paid work or whether it's volunteer work or work experience you've had as part of your current course or a previous course, if the work is some kind of helping role that could be relevant to social work. So if you've been an anti-bullying mentor in your school, if you've done voluntary work as part of your BTEC and you did 2 weeks in the nursery, if through your faith group you've been involved in helping running a lunch club for older people in your local community, whatever those experiences might be, the important thing is this: tell us what you've learned from them, not just what they were, but what you've learned from them in, I think, 2 key areas. What have you learned from yourself about yourself, your skills, your knowledge, your attitude? And then secondly, equally importantly, what have you learned about the challenges some of those people you've been trying to help might face in their lives? Because that insight into the lived experience of people facing difficulty is absolutely core to social work. So showing us that you've got some beginning skills in that area will stand out for us. If you go and do further reading and researches to learn more about social work and the skills, the knowledge and the values that are needed to be a social worker, make reference to some of that in your personal statement. That will do two things. First of all, it will show us that you've got the motivation to go and do that extra research, and it will show us that you really understand a bit about the job, and that again, you can link it back to yourself. So those different layers of preparation will really make a very strong personal statement. And this preparation, if you're successfully shortlisted for the selection process, this preparation will also help you with the various aspects of the next steps of the selection process, where we need to put you through a series of exercises which are designed to, again, test these different domains out. So if you've understood these domains and you've done good groundwork around them, we're going to be impressed and we'll want you and we'll want to make an offer. Alongside talking about academic requirements and the personal statement, I also just want to make you aware that there are ongoing professional requirements to study in social work, because it's a registered profession and because we don't just answer to university standards, but we also answer to professional body standards. So you do need to fill in various declarations about applicant suitability. That's a way of telling us whether you've yourself had involvement with social services at all. The disclosure and barring service, for which we need an enhanced disclosure, and we help you do those things. You aren't expected to do these things yourself. An occupational health assessment, so that if you've got additional needs that relate to an ongoing health or disability, we know what that is, and we know how it affects you, and we know then what reasonable adjustments we need to put in place to support you with that. To help get some of those things rolling, we do ask you, if you're a successful candidate, to attend a pre-course day so that we can do some of that work and get some of the paperwork rolling in good order before you start studying with us. And you also need to keep various immunisations up to date. These professional requirements continue throughout the course, so keeping immunisations up to date, telling us of any changes in your criminal record or changes to your health, making sure that you meet the attendance requirements both at university and essentially on placement, which needs to be treated like a proper professional full-time job, and that your conduct is appropriate in terms of the professional body standards of conduct, but also the university's code of conduct. So if you really think that social work is for you and you want to go and do some of those extra bits of research to help build your personal statement and make your overall preparation for the further selection activities, I'd strongly recommend that you go and look out Social Work England, our professional governing body, and the British Association of Social Work. Remember, they are the ones that have that document that I showed you, the entry level of the Professional Capabilities Framework. And furthermore, today, for the open day, if you're interested in social work and want to have a more detailed conversation, social work academics are available online between 10 until 4 on the Unibuddy platform. And at any other time, we are still taking online queries via our advice and enquiries email service. So all you need to do is Google and look for Ask Hallam. So there, I hope that's been helpful. You can look at this as many times as you like, make your own notes. And finally, I just wanted to wish you very good luck indeed. And I hope that we see some of you in the future on our course.